It was a normal Monday morning as I awoke ready for work. Visions flashed of a court proceeding in my head as I grabbed my shirt. I'm in a daze, feeling like I'm lost in a maze, and eeriness hovered as I heard a knocking at the door and thought, who could be looking for me, I wonder. And as I head towards the door, my heart starts to sink. I see the flashing lights of the law. Now my mind panics and thinks. I open the door to the officer who said, "Are you Elijah? I have a subpoena. You need to be in court this morning. Follow me, sir." Before I even get a chance to think, I'm now being grabbed. It seems like time moves in a flash. I'm standing in court with a judge, and it looks bad. They get to pointing their fingers and accusing me of all types of foolery. I'm thinking to myself, God, what are you doing to me? They lay the charges out: fornication and pride, 3 kids outside of wedlock, mingled with depression and lies. They've said I've murdered and stole, found truth in godless controls, portrayed myself in a way that brought shame to God's divine role. I'm standing there listening like, yo, this is nonsense. They're treating me like a convict for living by my conscience. I know that I've done wrong, but who in this room can stand blameless? Who can stand before Jesus and look at his face without feeling shame? Is it you? I know for sure it ain't me. But I thought that sin was all forgiven once Jesus died and rose for me. Who here is perfect? Y'all make me nervous. I've got tendencies from the streets, so y'all like to treat me like I'm lurking. I don't have to stand here and take this. Y'all can stay fake, I'm too real for it. Life has crippled my faith lately, and you judge me for shedding tears for it. Those stones y'all hold need a bit of redirecting. So what, I haven't been living perfectly. At least I'm still looking to heaven. Then I got interrupted by the prosecution who just wouldn't rest. To this day, I have nightmares often about the things that were said. This man has done things nobody's aware of, but we've had him under surveillance. The man you left behind your pulpit has a past. Yeah, I hate to say it. He has taken life twice. He has been a proponent for deception. He did people wrong that only at their heart had his best intention. He sold drugs. He's praised gangs. He's praised immorality and fighting. Is this really the man we trust to give us advice on how to lift us past our vices? Let's not forget, he's been drunk before. He's been high and popped pills. Let's not forget that he was the reason a friend of his got killed. I moved to sentence this man to death. Your word clearly states that one law broken is enough to warrant a blade upon his neck. Let it be done. I stood there. The whole room was so loud it got quiet. With tears streaming, I looked up and pleaded to be forgiven and not indicted. I begged for something to let me go free. Then I realized I deserve this. I'm the cause for so many nights my mom lay awake crying and hurting. Matter of fact, the prosecution is right. Go ahead and sentence me. But in my death, God bless my children and lay not this charge to my enemies. I opened my eyes, and the judge now had blood-red robes and a crown. He stepped down and stood beside me. As he turned to face the crowd, the whole room got silent. The judge spoke and the room shook. He said he'd take my place in death, but my life wasn't theirs to book. I was confused. Then he took off his robes and showed his scars. His wrists had holes that you could see through, and a gash in his side. I realized, I know who you are. He looked at me and smiled. Tears started streaming down my face. The prosecution turned to run and hide as Elohim took my place. He stood to take the lashes and beatings. He took it and said it was just for me. I was ready to face hell, but Jesus stepped in for the keys. I stand here now blessed and redeemed. I've been given a chance to see my King. They thought they'd take away my freedom, but Jesus gave it back to me. I wear his righteousness, his glory, his robes, and his blood. When he stands with me, I'm able to look at my enemies as not enough. It was love that saved my soul. It was his love that saved my life. I would have been dead if not for him coming to my rescue that night. Now in the eyes of my children, I can still see his shining light, because I've got something to hold on to when I've got no strength left to fight, because Jesus loves me.